wonderful time because I get to see so many devotees from South Africa also. I see Pearl, I see Kuku Mashangu, and anyway, I can recognize some faces. Some I forgot the names. Anyway, today, actually it's not today, Balaram's day is on Monday.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes. Here in Mapur, we are still decorating. Yeah, Lord Balaram is very, very important. But because Bala means strength. Like we are in this situation of coronavirus, we need strength. So this is the right time to pray for the strength, because when Lord Balaram appears, he is open to all the prayers of the devotees. Those who want spiritual strength, he gives them strength. Those who just want strength to overcome some challenges also, he gives strength to them. And is the first expansion of Lord Krishna. Sometimes it's very difficult to ascertain whether we are monotheistic, pantheistic, or polytheistic, isn't it? It can be very, very confusing. I remember when I came, I was thinking ISKCON is more monotheistic, and then suddenly so many gods. When I saw these people were worshiping the plant, I got completely confused. Yes, it was an experience, and it took many years to really digest the whole thing and extract some things that are kind of like applying to my life. So many gods, so many goddesses can be confusing. But according to Bhakti Narasimha is that we have to understand the three truths regarding our relationship with the Lord. One is knowledge about this world in which we are in, and knowledge about its relationship with the Lord, and also knowledge about our relationship with the Lord, since we are part of this creation. And then the third type of knowledge that we need to know, according to Bhakti Narasimha, is knowledge about God himself. Because we always say that the Supreme Lord is one, without a second. He is omnipotent. He is omnipresent. But how do we prove that? We hear, and then we repeat. He is all attractive. And he is the source of all opulences. These are things that we hear. So how is the Lord the shelter of material nature? And how he is our shelter? That knowledge needs to be deepened and well understood. Because this is what is called Sambandha Tattva. The truth about our relationship with the Lord, the relationship between the Lord and his creation. And then a person who, it is said that a person who is devoid of this knowledge of his relationship with the Lord, he may find it very difficult to become a pure devotee. That is what Bhakti Narasimha says. So that's why I'm beginning. So there are two pastimes of Lord Balarama. So there's two aspects. One is pastimes, his activities his interactions. Another aspect of understanding Lord Balarama is called Tattva. This is what I'm talking about now. Truth, or about the absolute reality, or you could say in simple terms, what is the nature of God? Just like the nature of sugar is that of sweetness. The nature of salt depends on the quality of saltness within the salt. So in a similar way, there is also what is called Tattva, or the truth about the nature of God. So that you find in different books like Tattva by Jiva Goswami, as well as the Bhagavatam and many, many other scriptures. So what is the nature of the absolute truth, or that entity that we refer to as God? Sutta Goswami has given his answer to this question. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, chapter 2, text number 11, he makes these statements about the truth of God. He says, Tattvam yatyanam advayam brahmeti paramameti bhagavan iti shabdati. And it says that the nature of this absolute reality is realized by saintly people or learned transcendentalists as the non-dual substance, who is known as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So Brahman refers to the energy or the effulgence that is the cause of creation. And then Paramatma refers to the Lord as the super soul in every living entity's heart. And then Bhagavan refers to the complete aspect of God. Like Krishna is complete. He has personality, he has his kingdom, he has his devotees, and also he enjoys life or pastimes. So that is what is called Bhagavan. So that is the answer that is given, or the description given in the Bhagavatam. Let's turn to chapter 2, text number 1 by Sutta Goswami. That's the answer. And then Yad Dhyanam Advayam. So Dhyanam means knowledge. So Jiva Goswami in his Tattva, he expanded from this verse to explain the nature of God. He says that Jnana means knowledge about the absolute reality. So what is that knowledge? He explains that when we refer to God, we are referring to that entity whose nature, yes, is of exclusively pure consciousness. So then he gives 3 reasons how God's nature is that of exclusively pure consciousness. One is that this entity takes support from its own potencies. In other words, it's self-reliant. Number 2 is that this entity called God, he says we don't have any experience either that is self-existent. In other words, in the material creation, all beings take support from energies, like we breathe air, we eat food, we take support from so many other facilities that are provided with the creation. But this scenario does not apply to this entity that we call absolute reality. And number three, the reason that is given in Tattva is that even though these energies, these potencies, they are the main support for this entity called God, but still they cannot have any separate existence without the Lord as their absolute foundation. That's very technical. Anyway, but the point is that we can understand how God is great. Like we hear God is great, God is omnipresent, omnipotent, but no one really explains. It just says, Amen, Arrivo, Jai. But then when you go deeper, and then there's an explanation how God is great. He is great because he's that living entity who does not depend on any energies or any forces in this creation, who is self-reliant, depends upon his potencies. So that's how God is great. He is great because there is nothing else that is dependent upon its own potencies in this creation except that absolute reality. And then this is now the nature of God, or what we call Tattva, according to Jiva Swami and also Srimad Bhagavatam. Now coming to the point of Balaram. How does Balaram fit into this category? So it is explained that the absolute reality is manifested in three forms. That is explained in the Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, as well as Lagu Bhagavatamrita Swami in chapter 14. There explains that one form of God is called Swayam Rupa. When we talk about Swayam Rupa, it means Krishna alone. In the beginning of creation, when there was nothing, Aham eva sham eva gre, nanyat yat sat asat param paschat aham ye chatcha yo avashisheta sosmi aham. So that is explained also in Bhagavatam in one of the seed verses 2, Bhagavatam 2nd canto, chapter 9, text number 33. The Lord says, in the beginning it was I, the personality of Godhead, who existed before anything. And whatever you see in the form of this creation is still I, the personality of Godhead. And what will remain also in the end, it will be still I, the personality of Godhead. So that is God alone before anything else is created. So and then that is Swayam Rupa. The second form is called Tat Ekatma Rupa. That refers to God when he expands. He has expansions and also he has other manifestations called avatar. Expansions refers to the forms of the Lord that does not come to the material world, like Keshava, Padmanabha, Shankasha, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And then when we talk about avatar, and then we talk about the forms that come, like Lord Chaitanya, Lord Buddha, how many? Jesus Christ. And so many other forms that come before man for his redemption. Those are avatars. So and then the third category of God's manifestation is called Avesha Rupa. So in Avesha Rupa, there are three categories also. Avesha means, how do you translate that into English? Avesha would mean like to appear before people. Yes. So Avesha Rupa, example that is given is Shaktavesh. Like God may empower a human being with the grace and the authority of the kingdom to come and redeem the lost sheep like us in this literal world. That is called Avesh. He is not God, but he's being empowered by God to reclaim all the souls in this conditioning world. That applies to many personalities, Narada Muni, Srila Prabhupada, and even Jesus Christ, and many, many other prophets. So that's another way God manifests before people. And then in that category of Avesh, another way God manifests before people is called Vibhuti Avesh. Like in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, Rasoham Apsukontiya, O son of Kunti, I am the taste in water. So when you're drink good water, if you remember this verse, it can make you Krishna conscious. I am the light of the sun and the moon. That is also a manifestation of God. Amongst the bodies of water, I am the ocean. Amongst the beasts, I am the lion. This is what is called Vibhuti Avesh, means indirectly empowered. These things are not God, but they are indirectly empowered. So these are three categories of Avesh. So and then, so in this category of Tat Ekatma Rupa, of expansions of God and incarnations, Lord Balarama is the first. There are two categories. There is a Vilasa manifestation. Vilasa manifestation means the expansion is not identical with the original form of the Lord. So Lord Balarama is the first in that category. And then Prakash manifestation means that the Lord expands, but the expansions are identical with the original Lord, with the original form. The example is when Krishna multiplied himself to dance with many gopis. Everyone thought he was dancing with Krishna, but he was dancing with a duplicate. I mean, they were ladies. We are used to here. So in that way, these are two ways by which God can manifest before us. He can directly come in his original form. He can empower a living being like us, but he can also take another form, yet different forms. So now when it comes to Lord Balarama, he's the first expansion amongst those forms that don't look identical with the original form. And then from Lord Balarama, you get another set of four. That is Shankarshan, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Those are the first expansions of Balarama. Why am I giving these details? It's just to give you the understanding how Balarama is serving this creation by his expansions. So those four, Vasudev is in that category. He is said to be incarnation or the expansion of the Lord that reside in the spiritual world, but they are involved with the maintenance of this creation. So Vasudev is in charge of consciousness. And then from him you get Shankashan. Shankashan also is very much involved with the creation. He is responsible for destruction of the universe. Shankashan. Shankashan lives underneath the universe. At the time of destruction, he is the one that causes the whole planet to tremble. And also he is responsible for the law of gravitation. So these are all expansions of Lord Balarama. Shesha, Ananta Shesha, Shankashan. And then you get Pradyumna. And then Pradyumna is said to be the deity responsible for intelligence. All our intelligence controlled by Pradyumna. There's another expansion of Lord Balarama. And then from Pradyumna, you get Aniruddha. Aniruddha is responsible for the mind. Our thinking, feeling, and willing are conducted under the control or management of Aniruddha. So that's how Lord Balarama is involved with this creation, including the functions of our mind, our body, and everything else through these different expansions. Right. So that's a philosophical understanding of Lord Balarama. And then Lord Balarama is also responsible for all paraphernalia, items that we use for worship. That we say Paramudanga, the items for doing arti, they are expansions for Lord Balarama. These are expansions of Lord Balarama. So in that way, Lord Balarama is involved in all aspects of the Lord's Leelas, also in all aspects of this material creation, as well as spiritual creations. So and then Balarama, he expands also into so many forms, just to facilitate the service of the Lord. So when the Lord came as Ramachandra, Balarama expanded as his brother, Lakshman. So Lakshman, as you all know, if you know Ramayana, he was always in trouble. He was always giving orders by Ram. Do this, do that. For example, when they were in exile, Lakshman, Lord Balarama in the form of Lakshman, was instructed, you guide Sita. I'm just going to follow this deer. And he obeyed. But Sita, on hearing the false cry of the demon, he said, go and check on Ram. Lakshman reluctantly, he left Sita, but there was a trick. Oh, he got chastised. Why did you leave Sita alone? So that is how Lord Balarama gets involved in these pastimes of the Lord. And then the search for Sita began. Finally, Sita was found. And then, again, the same Ramachandra doubted Sita and told Lakshman, you take her back to the forest. So Balarama suffered a lot through these pastimes of the Lord. And he had to take Sita back to the forest. So then he decided that the next time I would become an elder brother so that I don't get these orders. So then when he was Balaram, he enjoyed the position of being an elder. But when he became Nityananda, he was ordered like anything. So in that way, Lord Balaram is the Adi Guru, the facilitator of all of the Lord's pastimes. Also, he facilitates his preaching. As Lord Nityananda, he opened the Namahata place, the marketplace for selling the holy name in Godrone, which now is spreading all over the world by the mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Narasimha Swami. But that marketplace of the holy name was initiated by Lord Balarama in his form as Lord Nityananda. So in that way, Balaram is involved in all aspects of devotional service. Then, now coming to the appearance of Lord Balaram, that also is very miraculous, because the omen predicted that to Kamsa that the 8th child of your sister Devaki will be the cause of your death. So Kamsa was always worried, anxious, and alert. So first child came, was killed. Second child came, was killed. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh was Balaram. First Balaram appeared in the womb of Devaki. And Kamsa, just by seeing Devaki, he became frightened. He thought, no, the 8th child is the 7th child. Why am I feeling so uncomfortable? So then, before he was born, Lord Krishna made a arrangement. He made some arrangements with Yoga Maya, instructed Yoga Maya, you go to Kamsa's prison. My expansion, Ananta Shesha, has appeared, is in the womb of Devaki. You transfer that child to Rohini, who is living in Gokul at Nanda Maharaj's house. So then Yoga Maya came and made the arrangement of extracting Balaram from Devaki to Mother Rohini. So that's why I'm saying his appearance is very, very miraculous. So he's known as Rohini Nandana, but he is also Devaki Nandana. So Balaram grew up in Nandagram with Krishna, enjoying wonderful pastimes. And some of the demons of Braj, they were killed by Balaram, like Pralambasura, Dhenukasura, who appeared in Talavan in the form of a donkey. He was killed by Balaram. Pralambasura, he pretended to be a coward boy and indicated Balaram. And then suddenly he became bigger and bigger, revealing his demoniac form, and Balaram just smashed him. Another demon that was killed by Balaram was a Dvivida gorilla. So you know that pastime, very amazing pastime. Lord Balaram used to have his set of gopis. He will enjoy pastimes while drinking fresh varuni. So this Dvivida gorilla, he thought, who is this guy who is just enjoying in this forest? Actually, I am supposed to be enjoying this forest. And then he tried to attack Balaram, and then there was a fight, and Balaram eventually killed him. So there are certain demons that were killed by Lord Balaram. And then, of course, when Krishna and Balaram went back to Mathura, it was Balaram who came to visit Vrindavan. Krishna did not come to visit Vrindavan. So when he came, also he pacified the gopis and Mara Yasoda, and he engaged in different pastimes while he was visiting. Vrindavan. Another pastime of Balaram is when he chastised Jamuna for refusing to come closer so that he can bathe in her water. He's called Haladara Rupa. He carries a plow. This plow is used as a weapon. It's not just for plowing the land, it plows people. So the example of Balaram's power is that when he went to Hastinapur to negotiate the release of Samba, who had been kidnapped, he was trying to steal a girl, and then they caught him, they arrested him. And then Balaram went there to negotiate for his release. And that when the Kauravas were proudly insulting him, immediately with his hala, the plow, he dragged the whole city into the river Ganga. So Balaram is very, very powerful. He can drag the whole South Africa into the Indian Ocean. So if you worship him proper, you can get that strength. Yes. Of being able to overcome any obstacle. So in that way, Lord Balaram is not just someone who's performing pastimes, but also is quite involved with the creation, the maintenance of the creation in different forms. And also when the Lord comes, he takes part in the Lord's pastimes. He facilitates the Lord's pastimes, and also he engages in killing many demons. And of course, the most dear thing to Lord Balaram is Varuni. So this Varuni is like a honey that oozes from trees. So then it is scooped by the servants of Balaram into clay pots, and then is kept, and then Lord Balaram drinks that honey. And after drinking a lot of it, he becomes very, very warm and nice. Actually, when I first joined the temple in Johannesburg, there was Balaram Jayanti, and there was this Varuni. The devotees were drinking, and I saw the Matachis, they were like warm and nice, they were like, wobbling. I thought, no, I can't drink this. I became afraid. Yes, but it's like honey when it is infused with Sprite and other ingredients, it really gives you a kick. So in that way, even devotees, when they remember the pastimes of Lord Balaram, also they partake in drinking this Varuni. And Lord Balaram is very, very wonderful. We can relate to him very, very easily because he's more aristocratic, he's more firm, straightforward. But one thing, he does not override Krishna's decision. Like one past time, Balaram was planning marrying his sister to his disciple Duryodhana. And Krishna could understand that Balaram was thinking of giving their sister to this demon called Duryodhana. And he arranged with Arjuna to kidnap her. So Arjuna came dressed as a sannyas, and Subhadra was serving. And during that time, there was a connection. And then he kidnapped Subhadra. So when Balaram got the message, he became infuriated. When Balaram is angry, the earth trembles. his anger is not just like ordinary anger. Immediately, he called upon his chariot driver to bring the chariot, and then he pursued Arjuna. Finally, he caught hold of him. He was going to kill him. But Krishna said, no, look here, you can't do it. First of all, Arjuna is our relative. He's the son of Kunti. Kunti is our aunt. You just can't do that. And then finally, Balaram kind of like got calmed, and he was pacified. So that way, Lord Balaram is involved in many pastimes of the Lord, and he's always there as a partner with Lord Krishna in many pastimes. So if we pray to him during these days from today till Monday, we can also gain strength to overcome all our obstacles, including this COVID-19. We can remain steady and stay afloat in this ocean of miseries caused by this virus. Jai Baradeva K, Shri Balaram Jayanti K. Hare Krishna. Now you can ask questions.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribo.
How are you doing? Thank you so much. This was a very nice class. I want you to ask if
Oh,
Krishna
you're
Maharaj?
here now. Okay.
I want to
Jagananda.
Jagadananda Das. Yes.
Jagananda, okay.
I was initiated a year ago, Maharaj.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. I wanted to ask, we often hear that Mother Radharani is the custodian of devotional service. Right? When we are seeking devotional service, we come to Mother Radharani. But it's also said that if we want to enter into the pastimes of Lord Krishna, we must also satisfy Lord Balarama. Could you kindly maybe help us understand, are we trying to only please Mother Radharani and Lord Balaram, or who is more favorable? If we can say that.
Thank you. That's a very good question. There's a difference between Srimati Radharani and Lord Balaram. Srimati Radharani is pleasure potency. Is an expansion or personification of the pleasure potency of the Lord. Whereas Lord Balaram is an expansion of the Lord. That's the difference. So Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, they have a different relationship. They perform different pastimes. As I was explaining, that when Lord Krishna is fighting demons, Balaram is there. Some of the demons were killed by Lord Balaram. But Srimati Radharani is in another category that is called Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency. So her devotion, or you could say her service, is to give pleasure to the Lord. Whereas Balaram's duty is to assist the Lord in different pastimes. Well, Balaram also can give pleasure to Krishna, but in a different way. But Srimati Radharani is different. There is no conflict. If you are with the cowherd boys, you follow Balaram, he's the leader of the cowherd boys. But if you are the follower of the gopis, and then Srimati Radharani is your leader, she will train you. But if you are on the path of the gopas or the cowherd boys, and that Balaram is a guru there. But if you are on this side of Madhura Ras, you are under the shelter of Srimati Radharani. That's a difference. So the gopis give Krishna pleasure in a different way. So the authority in that line is Balaram and other senior cowherd boys. But in Madhura Ras, if you are on a part of Madhura Ras, and then your guru is Srimati Radharani. Is that clear? It doesn't matter whether male or female, like Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. They are on the part of Radharani. They are the worshippers of Radharani. Even though they may be in male forms. Why? Because they come from that line of Madhura Ras. But those who have a relationship with Krishna as cowherd boys, and then their guru and leader is Balaram. Then you understand? So that's the difference. It depends on the relationship. So Srimati Radharani is a guru of those who are aspiring for Madhura Ras.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So there's a comment saying that Lord Balaram also went on spiritual pilgrimage, whilst the war went on at Kurukshetra. Is this also a sign of his aristocratic nature that he didn't go to fight, he went on pilgrimage?
It was a very difficult situation because the people involved, they were relatives. Both Pandavas and Kauravas were relatives. Also, on the side of the Pandavas, there was Krishna. He couldn't go against Krishna. On the side of the Kauravas, Dushasana was his disciple. He was also sympathetic to Duryodhana. So then he decided to stay away from this whole conflict.
Okay. So, okay.
That's also in our philosophy, Ubuntu philosophy. The Bantu tribes. If you are not in good terms with your brother in a family setting, it's best that you leave family. Go and find some land somewhere else and start your family there instead of fighting with your brothers. Of course, nowadays, our people don't know this, but it was part of Batswanas, Basutus, and all those tribes that come from Bantu culture. You don't fight with your brothers. If there's a conflict, you just leave home, maybe travel for some times, and come back when everyone has cooled down. So, in a similar way, Lord Balaram wanted to stay away from this conflict. That's why he went on pilgrimage. Actually, about 5 years ago, I went to the temple that he visited in South India. It's called Padmanabha. There is another Padmanabha. There is a Padmanabha Mandir. So we went to the temple which was visited by Lord Balaram 5,000 years ago. It's still there. Amazing place. So he wanted to stay away from this conflict because it involved his relatives, and also he had disciples on both sides. On both sides, he had people that were his disciples.
Thank you, Maharaj. There's another comment from Oakheng, something about earthquakes. Is it caused by Lord Anantashesh carrying, oh, I don't know where the question or comment comes from. Do you want to clarify, Oakheng?
Yes.
I think she asked when Lord Balaram's angry.
Yes.
and the earth shakes.
Yes.
Whether that's what we then call earthquakes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's not like an earthquake that we know of, but there's a tremor. Now, for example, when Lord Balarama, when Krishna was fighting Vyomasura in one of the biggest forests in Vrindavan called Kamyavan, if you go there today, you will find that spot where Lord Balarama, the earth began to shake, and Lord Balarama pressed it with his lotus feet. The marking is still there, yes. It's like a tremor. The earth began to tremble. Whereas the earthquake, it means that it splits. But they are similar. Yeah. I experienced this when I was in California in 2003. I was serving my Guru Maharaj. I was in the house just doing my service. Suddenly, I saw everything falling apart, and then I was just moving. I was thinking, this America is a very serious place. Huh? So it was like some movement, but not really the big earthquake. So Lord Balarama also, he causes the trembling of the earth.
Thank you, Maharaj. There's another question that can we view Lord Balaram as the first spiritual master, even though he's not part of the disciplic succession? This is from Kukuletu.
Yes. It's not necessarily that he has to be in the disciplic succession. Even some of the gurus, some of the spiritual masters that we receive knowledge, they are not in this, they are not in the disciplic succession. Some of the Shiksha gurus who wrote many, many books, like Vrindavan, Das Thakur, and many others, they are not they are not listed on the list. So Lord Balarama is Adi Guru. He is the first spiritual master, but he is not on the list because he is the Supreme Personality of God.
Hare Krishna. There's a question from Krishna Das and Paul. Hare Krishna. Balaram is also known to serve as Ananta Shesha. How is one meant to understand that he is king of serpents and we consider the snakes as envious and evil or in a negative context?
Yes, it's true. Especially a snake is taboo in Africa and other continents also. It's considered inauspicious. But we see that personalities like Lord Shiva, they are wearing snakes like, necklaces. He wears snakes like bangles. So, but the snake that he's wearing is different. Is an expansion of the Lord, of Shankara. So in a similar way, just like the Lord expands as Varaha in order to uplift the earth from the Garbha ocean. So he takes upon different expansions for different pastimes. These bodies are like the tools that he wants to use for that particular lila. So when the Lord takes upon that particular body, it does not become inauspicious. But another living entity in that body, who is not the Lord, will be considered inauspicious and dangerous. So Ananta Shesh is a snake, but at the same time is not just an ordinary snake because the Lord has decided to take that form, like he appeared as Marcia, so that he can float in the ocean of devastation to rescue his devotees. So that way, the Lord takes upon different forms for specific pastimes, but he does not become conditioned by that form. He is still transcendental. This fish was talking. He was instructing the king. So in a similar way, although the Lord appears as an anta, she is not just an ordinary snake. Yeah. He is still the Lord, or expansion of the Lord for that specific service. He is not just like a black mamba, from Africa who is going to bite you. No, he doesn't bite, even though he has taken that form. So that's the difference. That when the Lord takes upon that form, whether it be snake, whether it be fish or tortoise, he's not a tortoise. He's just using that form as a vehicle for that particular pastime. So we should not fear. Like the lion, Nishingadev. Many people feared Lord Nishingadev when he appeared, but Prahlad Maharaj was not afraid because he understood this is not just a lion, but it's my Lord. And he went ahead and offered prayers. So that way the Lord takes upon the different forms to deliver those who are in moral goodness. Lila Vatara says that the Lord takes upon different incarnations to deliver those who are in goodness in the Bhagavatam. So the devotees will understand him in that form. Prahlad Maharaj understood. He's not just a half man, half lion. He's the Lord who has come to deliver us. Whereas the demigods were afraid to approach Nishingadev. So that way, this is it's just the Lord's way of getting closer to those living entities that he wants to deliver. So that form of Ananta is very suitable for upholding the universe. Also, Ananta has many, many heads. With thousands of mouths, he's glorifying the Lord. He's singing the glories of the Lord. So that specific form of the Lord is for the pastimes. As I was saying before, it's very, very difficult actually to understand. Especially in Africa, it's taboo. In Nairobi temple, I remember they had this another shesh for the drum. He was very big. From the road, when the students used to see him, they thought he was real. Yeah. And then for Ratayata, we invited so many students. When they saw this form, they were like frightened. Because in Africa, a snake is just taboo. And it's true. So don't install the form of Ananta Shesha in Africa. It will destroy all your preaching. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna. I was just had a little story about how difficult God is to understand. My mother visited the temple in Pretoria, and in that corridor, there was a big picture of Lord Nishingadev killing Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah.
So when my mother was on her way out to the front door, she saw the picture, and as we walked out the door, she said, "Oh, you guys even have a picture of the devil." I said, yeah. Because it's like killing intestines. It was just too far gone for me to say, no, actually, that is God. I just said yes.
Actually, I would advise devotees to not use these pictures if you are preaching in Africa. No Chaitanya and Nityananda, they are enough. They look like Jesus. People won't be confused. They're just like dancing Jesus. Otherwise, when you bring in all these pictures of Nishingadev tearing Hiranyakashipu, Ananda Shesha, it just become taboo for the people. That was my plan for Swaziland. I wanted to have Prabhupada only there. So as to not confuse the people. Because I can say, oh, see, Prabhupada is dressed like me. He's the first priest who founded this church. And people understand, okay, he's the first priest, okay. But then other deities, and then they just cause a lot of confusion and suspicion.
Oh, thank you. So anyone who has any comments, any question for Maharaj, please just unmute yourself and speak up. Yes, Krishna Das.
I'm saying there's a question on the comments by Jai Keshavi Dasi.
Oh, it just came through. Thank you.
Just came through.
Okay.
By who?
Jai Keshavi Dasi.
Okay.
Where is Jai Keshavi Dasi? I'm trying to find it on the screen. Oh, right at the bottom. Is it possible for you just to put your camera on for a second or two?
My camera.
No. Jai Keshavi Dasi. So maybe it's not possible. We'll just.
She's there on the left.
Yeah, she has a
there.
camera on.
Oh, sorry, so many boxes, I couldn't see you. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, so Hare Krishna Maharaj, it's said that one can pray to Radharani for this, then pray to Lord Nityananda for that, then pray to Lord Nishingadev for something else. It seems that there are so many personalities you can pray to for so many things. Can you kindly explain what is the difference between praying to these personalities and praying straight to Lord Krishna for something, example, mercy or strength? Thank you.
There is no difference. But according to the pastimes of the Lord, because he presented himself in that form when devotees were praying to him for that particular mercy. So that's why we pray to him through these forms. For example, Hiranyakashipu had a bone that he will not be killed by man or animal, not in the sky, not on land. So that's the reason why Lord Nishingadev appeared in that form, to confront and chastise this demon, Hiranyakashipu. So if we are in a situation that is challenging, just like that of Prahlad Maharaj, and then the more appropriate deity for us to pray to will be Nishingadev. So it depends. Mother Earth was troubled by the demon called Hiranyaksha. She prayed to the Lord. But the Lord appeared in that form as Varaha, the bull incarnation, to uplift her back to her original place. So that's the reason why the Lord, the devotees pray to Krishna, but he decides to take upon suitable forms to deal with each and every situation. So this is what is called what I call temporal pastimes, nirmitika lilas. They are nitya lila and nirmitika lila. Nitya lila means pastimes that are eternal, but these nirmitika lilas are temporal pastimes, occasional pastimes. So that may appear as a bore, but it does not stay in that form. After the pastime is over, and then it disappears. It goes back to its original form. These pastimes are just for that particular incident. Just like some years ago in the 90s in America, one Sankirtan lady was attacked by a thug who noticed that she was carrying a lot of money in her bag. So when this thug was busy trying to grab the bag from her, she screamed very loudly, "Nishingare, Nishingare." Suddenly, a big dog came from nowhere, grabbed the thief, and then the thief started trying for his life. So we don't know who empowered. Maybe the Lord empowered the dog to solve the problem. Draupadi was crying, "Govinda, hey Govinda," when he was attacked by Dushasana. What happened? Krishna didn't come, he was at Dwaraka. But her sari became multiplied. Dushasana kept on pulling, but the sari was coming and coming and coming. He could not strip her naked in front of those criminals. So that's another example. Krishna didn't come, he just created something else to protect her. So there are many pastimes where the Lord takes upon a particular form to solve that problem. We can still pray to the Lord, but when he has decided, he will manifest himself in different ways. He may manifest himself in another form to deal with that particular problem. So when you study these pastimes, that's how we reciprocate. You just appear in another form that is suitable for solving that problem.
Hi, Keshavi. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. There's a question from Lake Bases, my sister. So first time she's kind of coming. Aunt Maharaj, you know of Ubabu Tablum Jivan, Shawat.
Yes.
So this is one of my sisters from that great Daksha of a man. So she's trying to understand your point that prayer in context, like a pill for a specific illness, it is a little confusing, but it also makes sense that sometimes a blanket prayer doesn't elevate or speak to your specific trouble or battle. So failing to direct to the specific personality might give a better sense of faith and relief. So she's also trying to figure it out that I guess when we pray directly to a specific form of the Lord for a specific thing, then it's more personal and it may really invoke that reciprocation.
Yes, well, we need training. In order for our prayers to become fruitful, we need to know how to pray them proper. Because praying means you are talking to God. So when you are talking to someone, you need to be in a mood that will appeal to that person. You understand me? It's just like people. They think that by stealing the shoes of a sannyas, you get mercy. But actually, you're not getting mercy, you're getting curses. Since I came to India, my shoes have been stolen twice. We are not getting the mercy, we are getting a curse because we are inconveniencing that person by stealing his or her shoes. Mercy or reciprocation come when you are happy with that person. How can you bless a person who has stolen your shoes? You understand? So we need to be trained also in how to offer our prayers proper with the right attitude. The attitude that will please the Lord. Or Srimati Rani, or any personality that we are praying, because they have to be pleased with us. And then when they are pleased with us, their hearts will open. So just like example of stealing the shoes, it really annoys us. Because suddenly your shoes are gone and then you have to walk barefoot and the sun is very hot. So you are feeling the pain, you are thinking, oh, this rascal has taken my shoes, he has put me into trouble. How can he bless such a person? So it doesn't work like that. But if you check on my shoes, check the size, go to the shop, buy the same shoes, same size, and come and say, Maharaj, I think you've been wearing these shoes for so long. I have come to exchange them. I will happily accept the new shoes and give you the old ones. So we have to just learn the method of prayer in such a way that we will be pleasing, we will invoke the mercy of that personality. But just by cutting corners, our prayers may not be received, may not bear the results. We need to learn the right method.
So, thank you. I guess the one part in the question was the prayer is like we're dialing a number specifically to a certain aspect of the Lord. Yeah. So it was,
yes. We have to know the number, the right number. And then we will get connected. I've seen this many, many times. Sometimes people ask me, how did you survive? I say, I don't know. Just by some mercy, and it's true. But just by some mercy, I'm able to survive. Otherwise, I don't have my own strength. And I get just mercy there and there. But that depends on faith. Rupa Goswami says, how does he call it? Yes, he says it depends on our faith. When we have that strong faith, and then we'll see that the Lord will reciprocate. It's just like so many people can say, we love you, Maharaj. We love you so much. Yes. I don't see any action. So, but when someone acts, does something, which shows that he loves you, you really believe, yes, this person loves you. Isn't it? So love is expressed in actions also. So prayer also can be something like that. Yes, we can pray, but inside, we are not there in those prayers. The Lord can sense that. You can see that because He sees everyone. For example, Duryodhana, before the war of Kurukshetra, it was decided that we don't want this war. The best thing is to negotiate peace. And then Kunti said, Krishna, please go to Duryodhana and tell him that we have decided that, it's not necessary that we fight. We are the members of the same family. You just tell him to give us 5 villages, we will be happy. He can have the entire kingdom. So then Krishna went to Duryodhana. He presented. Before he presented the case, Duryodhana had another plan. He thought that when Krishna come here, I will capture him with my service. I will arrange the best palace in our kingdom, the palace of Dhritarashtra. And then he will eat delicacies that he never tasted in Vrindavan, which are not easily available to cowherd boys, only to kings like us. He prepared everything nicely. And Krishna came. They bathed his feet in golden pinchers. And he was seated in silk cushions. So when Krishna was relaxed, Duryodhana came forward and said, Dear Govinda, please accept our invitation to have dinner with us. We have prepared a royal feast, something we have never experienced before. Like Trump would say, like nobody else before. Like it was never done before. So that way, that's how Duryodhana presented his plea to the Lord, like never before. So Krishna was listening, and then he said, my dear hero, this is how he's speaking. My dear hero, someone can partake a meal at somebody's house when there is love between them. If there is no love between them, one can eat at somebody's house if he is stranded. There is no place for him to get his meal. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a stranded person, and you do not have love for me.
Sure.
So therefore, I will not accept this invitation. And Duryodhana said, what? You always have good time with Arjuna and his brothers. We are the same family. Why are you refusing us? Krishna said, no. If you are the same family with Arjuna, give them their kingdom. That's what I have come here for. Duryodhana said, I can't. I will not give them even enough land to stick a pin. If you said, you see, that's why I will not also accept you. I will not accept your invitation because you hate my devotees. So that was the end of Duryodhana's plan to capture Krishna with his royal feast and royal services. Krishna is captured by the bhakti in the heart of the devotee, not by some opulences. So in that way, we have to understand what captures the Lord. It's our loving devotional service, not our opulent offerings. So that is Krishna. He doesn't want your opulences. He just wants your bhakti. Patram pushpam tuyam yomi bhakta prayati. If you offer me even simple leaves, water, and flowers with love and devotion, I accept it. That's the difference. So the Lord doesn't want our opulent offerings. He just wants our devotion and love. That's it. Actually, that's what he's saying in the Bhagavad Gita. I'm not saying these things. Sometimes we say, Maharaj said this, but that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita.
Sure.
So that simple mode and simple offering goes a long way to connect us with the kingdom of God.
Good. Thank you, Maharaj. So we have 6 minutes on the clock. So again, if anyone has any comments or question for Maharaj, otherwise we will just, oh yes, also then after Krishna Das, maybe we'll ask Maharaj to say some final words to us, and then we will end our session. Krishna Das Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. You're just describing this pastimes from the Mahabharata of Duryodhana and Krishna and Arjuna. One like when you think about it, you start to question, how could Lord Balaram, who was an incarnation of Krishna, allow for Duryodhana and his entire family, and still like support them, train them, and give them love and his attention and care and everything. Yet they were so inimical to Krishna's devotees. They had so much hate for them. They wanted to destroy them. And I mean, right now, they don't even want to give them a pin drop of size of land. How could Lord Balaram allow for this and continue to give them his love? Does that mean that like somebody who has hate for the Lord can just pray to Lord Balaram and he'll be protected up until a point? Or like, how does this work?
Anyway, there are so many opinions to this relationship between Balaram and Duryodhana. He was more like a military guru. You understand? Balaram was like a club fighting guru. So the relationship that he had with Balaram was that of a military teacher. Yeah, he didn't really gain spiritual strength from Balaram, but he went for material strength. That's the difference. There are different gurus. There are gurus who can train you in warfare, but there are spiritual gurus who can train you in spiritual life. So depending on situations, so Balaram, now the question is that Balaram is an expansion of Krishna. He is almost Krishna himself. How could he tolerate people who are inimical? Well, this is Lila. It's all like the Lilas of the Lord. You found that in the Lilas of the Lord, some people become his enemies, some people become his friends, but it's all planned by him. It's like a drama on stage. And Lord Balaram also is in this drama where he has disciples who are the Kauravas, but they are not favorable towards the Pandavas and Krishna. Yes. The example of this guruship is that of Dronacharya. Dronacharya was not in good terms with Drupada. Drupada did a yagya to have a son who could kill Dronacharya. And he sent that son to Dronacharya for training. That was Dhristadyumna. And Dronacharya knew all this, that this son is the same son that this king prayed for, who was born just to kill me. But he accepted him in his school. Because in those days, to be a teacher, it meant that you accept whoever come to you for learning. They didn't care. whether it was an enemy or a friend. So in a similar way, this is just a pastime. Lord Balarama, he accepted Duryodhana, but it doesn't mean that he accepted everything. Like, for example, when Duryodhana went to negotiate for the release of Samba, Duryodhana and company, they offended Balarama. He punished them. So he was a martial arts guru. So he had to accept disciples from all walks of life. Some disciples, they may not be favorable to the guru, but it's his duty to chastise them and get them on the straight and the narrow. So Baladam also, he chastised this Duryodhana. Yeah, Dronacharya, all the Mahabharata can be very confusing. Yeah, it can be very, very confusing, but it's just pastimes. But these pastimes are to teach us lessons, right? Like when you study Mahabharata, you can learn what is called niti or ethics. How when people deviate slightly from ethics because they become greedy for money, even though they are gurus, they get punished. Dronacharya, as a result of that, he had his head cut off. So Mahabharata teaches us the importance of sticking to the truth. Yes. If we don't stick to the truth, we favor people because they are giving us good dakshin, even though they are demons, and we will be punished. If we allow abuses of devotees in the name of leadership, we will be punished. We will get reaction. If we allow children to be abused in our domain, we will be punished for it. That's what Mahabharata teaches us. So do not be in cahoots with adharma. Stay on the narrow. Even if it means you eat pap with water, that is good. Then receiving big fat donations from people who are just Duryodhana. So this is what these gurus did. They were receiving big fat donations from Duryodhana, and Duryodhana got them on his side. So they were destroyed. They were good people, but greed destroyed them. So you learn all these points from Mahabharata. It's best to eat leaves in the forest than eating sumptuously from a person who is evil, because you will share in his evil. Some people believe that I'm heavy. I was trained by apartheid of South Africa. It made me like this. I can't help myself. But inside, I'm very good.
I love it, Maharaj. I love it. Thank you.
You know, yesterday I was listening a lecture of some of my former president, J.B. Forster, because before we used to think that they were army people, they were not intelligent. They were super intelligent. They said to him, he is interviewed by an American. He said, where do you stand? B.J. Foster, he says, we are against the communists. The communists, they are against free world. In South Africa, we are a free world. And then how? You are shocked. Are you a free world here in South Africa? Why did you push blacks into provinces like Ciskei, Bophuthatswana? He said, no, we didn't push anyone to any province all the African people, they chose those lands and then they liked those lands. That's why they are living there. Botswanas, they chose Botswana. The Basutus, they are the ones that chose Lesotho. We are just supporting them. We are free people. I was thinking this diplomacy is that, oh, there is no racism in ISKCON. There is no, it doesn't exist. But it's there. It's just diplomacy. There is no child abuse. There is no women abuse. We don't discriminate against women. So he said, no, we don't discriminate against these people. They cause us, they just love Eastern Cape. So we are allowing them to live. With our help, they are living very comfortable. The Botswanas, we gave them Botswana. They are happy. And then they said, okay, in South Africa, there is discrimination when it comes to salaries. There are different salaries for non-white people, and there are different salaries for white. I said, no, there is no such a thing. It doesn't exist. It exists in the minds of Americans only. You don't know our history. That's why you are talking like this. He says, no, a white man who is unskilled and lesser than a black man or a colored who is skilled. He is so smart. I was thinking, yeah, this guy is very smart. You know, he can defeat anyone who is challenging his system. Yeah, and then you realize this diplomacy, it goes a long way. Yeah. So this is diplomacy. And where are they today? They are all in the grave. We are freely, walking in union buildings in Pretoria. We never thought we'll set our foot there. So this is the materialistic mentality. So a devotee has to practice to see equality in life, that all life matters. Therefore, we should try to serve everybody. And then we can truly be in our right positions as servants of Krishna. But in your community, if one part of your community is crying, that means there is a fault in the system. Why people are crying? They are not just babies who gets up and just cry because they want attention. They are crying because they are pained. You are saying, no, there is no pain. Just like Menier, forced them. Say, no, we are a free country. We are part of the free world. These people chose to go to Botswana. We didn't push anyone there. They chose to go to the Transkei. They selected those lands. We are just helping them. This is diplomacy. He said everyone came here to South Africa. They chose those lands. The Xhosas, they liked Eastern Cape. We were in Cape Town. We decided to go to Free State. We liked those lands and then we settled there. Yeah. We didn't push anyone. I was thinking, these guys were smart. When you listen to them now, in terms of philosophical listening and based on, human rights, you realize they were not just some boas from the army, but they were trained in what they were doing. And then you can learn so many things also from that, how human beings are so complicated. They can deny something just right in front of them. So, no. It's just your perception. It doesn't exist. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Jai.
So thank you very much, dear devotees, for coming, friends, well-wishers, and we will be available again next Sunday at 10 a.m. will communicate the topic, the speaker. Nabompo, who just arrived, thank you for arriving. Where's Mpoma is greeting you? She on mute, okay, she's there. What? Selassie, you have something to say? No?
Yes, actually, I do. Just quickly before everyone goes, I just want to say I'm so glad that Guguletu invited me here. And I feel like for the longest of times, I needed to just be here and see you guys. And also, yeah, my network is horrible, by the way, but also to Bhakti Narasimha, just thank you for your words. I needed to hear what you had to say today. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Selassie. I guess don't forever hold your peace. If anyone else wants to say one more thing. Okay. Otherwise, so Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good.
Sabyasachi,
Arriba.
can you put, where are you going to put this recording up?
We're going to put it on the YouTube channel of called Wusa.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Wusa on YouTube, Hare Krishna. And maybe we can put it also Facebook. I'll talk to the IT guy. Oni, it's good seeing you. You've got some mythical appearance. You've got a background filtered thing. That's just like, okay, thank you for showing. Jambavan, Paul, Zane. Thank you to you. Boti, Lakibase, Nom Sabon, Jai Keshavi, Deva Kanya. We didn't see your face, but maybe some devotees know you. I haven't seen you, but thank you for coming. Kukule too. Maybe we'll play a song, Kukule, to thank you for bringing Selassie.
Yes.
Krishna, your questions. Oacheng, Hare Krishna, and Snazo. Unkulunkulu anbusise, Chibuvanat, Hare Krishna.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.